If you watched last night's Chicago fire, you're probably still sitting on your couch, staring at a blank screen, and just trying to process what we all witnessed. I know I am. The promos teased a tragedy. They warned us that this one would hit close to home. But nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared us for the emotional devastation of Mercy. Your prompt said, shocking news. Herrmann accident and death. And for one terrifying, heart-stopping stretch of time, we all believed that was exactly what was happening. This wasn't just a fire. This was the end of an era. And in a way, it was a death. Let's just get this out of the way, because our hearts are still pounding. By some miracle, no one was physically lost. But the accident and the death your title mentions, they happened, and it was so much more gut-wrenching than we could have imagined. It was the death of a home, the death of memories, the death of the one place in the world that was supposed to be safe for the Herrmann family. The call that stopped our hearts. The episode started like any other. We saw a glimpse of the Herrmann family's morning chaos, the comfortable, relatable life we've come to love. Cindy was off to her new job, and their daughter, Annabelle, was staying home sick from school. It was normal. It was real. And then, the bells hit. You know that feeling when a call comes in. We, as viewers, have been trained to brace for impact. But this time was different. The dispatcher's voice crackled over the radio with an address, and the camera just held on Herrmann's face. He didn't even need to say it. We saw it in his eyes. The blood drained from his face. The confusion. The dawning, sickening horror. That's my house. I don't think I've ever heard two words on this show carry so much weight. In that single instant, Christopher Herrmann wasn't a firefighter. He was just a dad, a husband, a man whose entire world was, at that very second, turning to smoke and ash. The ride to the scene was pure torture. Every second felt like an hour. We watched him frantically, uselessly dialing his phone, his voice cracking as he yelled for Annabelle, for anyone, to pick up. This is the nightmare every first responder lives with. The fear that one day, the call will be for you. It's gone, man. When Truck 81 pulled up, it was already too late. This wasn't a small kitchen fire. This was an inferno. The Herrmann home, the place we've seen them celebrate holidays, raise kids, and fight and make up, was being eaten alive by flames. And Herrmann did the one thing he was trained never to do. He broke. He didn't wait for a line. He didn't wait for orders. He grabbed his mask and ran straight into the blaze, screaming for his daughter. It was raw, terrifying, and completely human. He wasn't Lieutenant Herrmann. He was just Dad. The relief that hit us when Cindy pulled up and screamed that Annabella was safe, that she'd decided to go to school after all, was so intense it left me lightheaded. But the relief only lasted a second, because the death was still happening. Herrmann, knowing his family was safe, had a different kind of break. He saw his life disappearing, the memories, the photos, the kids' drawings, and he tried to go back in. He was desperate to save just one thing, one tiny piece of the life they had built. It was the new guy, Saul Vasquez, who had to make the hard call. He physically tackled Herrmann and dragged him, kicking and screaming, out onto the lawn. And then came the moment that shattered us all. As Herrmann fought to get free, to run back into the inferno one last time, it was Severid who grabbed him, held him, and told him the truth that no one wanted to say out loud. Herrmann, it's gone, man. Accept the fact. It's gone. And he just collapsed. We didn't just watch Herrmann's house burn down. We watched his heart break in real time. We watched him lose everything. The anatomy of an accident. For a while, the accident part of this story was a mystery that was eating Herrmann alive. He was convinced it was his fault. He'd done some wiring in the kitchen himself. and the guilt was crushing him on top of the grief. He wasn't just the man who lost his home. In his mind, he was the man who caused it. He roped Severid into investigating, and thankfully the truth came out. It wasn't his wiring. It was a freak accident, a short in the stove's ignition. It was random, senseless, and cruel. There was no one to blame, which almost makes the loss harder to bear. It just happened. This is the kind of tragedy that changes a person, and it couldn't have come at a worse time. Let's not forget, Herrmann just willingly took a demotion and a pay cut so that his best friend, Mach, could finally make lieutenant. He put his family in a tighter financial spot out of the goodness of his heart, and this is how the universe repays him. It's just not fair. But this is 51. This show has always been about one thing.